Feature Film Distribution International. Until recently, the conventional rules for distributing films were largely set around analog technologies, with business models based on rigid window systems and exclusivity. For example, a movie is first released through movie theaters. Then, after approximately 3 months, it is released to VHS and VOD services. After an additional number of months, it is usually released to pay TV. And about 2 years later, its first theatrical release, it is made available for free-to-air TV.
Right, I'm guessing that he bought her the big pipe organ and she's really not happy about it.
However, recent advantages in digital technologies are changing the way audiences consume media, putting pressure on traditional models for releasing films. The impact of new technologies has prompted some distribution companies to re-examine the traditional windowing system within the film value chain, determining whether more commercially appropriate business models exist by breaking holdback periods and introducing VOD earlier into the release strategy. Since 2004, film studios have been pushing to shrink the duration of the theatrical window in an attempt to make up for the huge losses in the DVD market. These attempts also encountered firm opposition of theater owners, as they benefit from keeping the movie available as long as possible. Multi-platform approaches include Ultra VOD and Day and Date releasing have emerged, which are becoming particularly attractive to independent film distributors. The former refers to releasing a picture online via transactional video on demand, TVOD, a number of weeks before its scheduled theatrical release. Distributors charge a premium price to allow the audience an opportunity to view the film before its availability in the cinema, creating a sense of exclusivity and helping to promote good buzz around the film. Day and Date can also refer to a simultaneous theatrical release in a domestic and international market of a blockbuster. These multi-platform distribution models represent a new way of monetizing film that breaks away from the singular value chain of traditional film release. It places convenience and accessibility for consumers at the heart of the transaction. Such multi-platform release approaches are considered more relevant for smaller budget films because their box office visibility is generally lower and their theatrical runs shorter. In this regard, they can ease the pressure on the opening weekend box office. Instead of aiming for immediate breakout success, distributors can maximize their investment in distribution and marketing costs and benefit from economies of scale by spreading it across multiple platforms. On the other hand, major studios also identified this year that they are working on an agreement that would show certain movies on premium VOD within weeks of their theatrical premieres.
As I understand it, you took it around to some of the studios and you didn't really get a nibble. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was, actually. I mean, I didn't expect it. I mean, everybody said, well, you should be able to get whatever you want done. And I'd paid for the movie. I'd made the movie myself, but I was just asking somebody to release the movie. But, of course, that meant they would have to pay some of the advertising costs, and nobody really wanted to do that.
Speaking of marketing costs, the way movies are marketed has been changing at an alarmingly rapid pace over the past 3 years, and is due for major paradigm shift in the near future. For example, 4 years ago, the P&A spend a movie received was pegged at 70% of the budget of that film. So, if The Truman Show had a budget of $100 million, then conventional wisdom dictated that the marketing expenditure had to be $70 million. This is no longer the case today. Marketing expenditures have skyrocketed in recent years. Today, major releases routinely have production costs that are a mere fraction of their marketing budgets. Take The Purge, for example. Its production budget is under $5 million, yet the marketing budget is over $20 million. The impact of digital technology is transitioning the market from supply-led to demand-led. the industry began to reconsider whether the traditional distribution method, which was built upon rigid window system, is still relevant and the most effective means of generating maximum income. The industry is still in a comparatively early stage in adapting to and adopting new technologies. And film distributors are still developing alternative release models best suited to satisfying consumer demand, breaking away from the constraints of traditional distribution system. What will happen next? I guess we'll have to wait and see.